What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone? Let me know if y'all can hear me clearly. One second, y'all. Let us pray. What's going on? Let me know if y'all can hear me clearly. Let me know if my mic is coming in good. Should be good to go. Oh, yes, we can hear you. All right, cool. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right. Yes, sir. We can hear you. What's going on, everyone? Hope everyone had a good weekend. Everybody that traveled to Miami, hope y'all got back safely. I did. I got back early this morning, and I've been asleep all day. I've been rested all day. That trip took me out. I was doing a whole lot of walking down there in Miami, so it definitely took me out. But I hope everybody made it back safely. If y'all still down there in Miami and y'all not traveling, because I know a lot of people not leaving till tomorrow. So safe travels to all of y'all too. But did you attend FAMU home going? Yep. Yep, I was there. I was in the building. I had a good time, man. It was a great time. The game, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't expect to see what I seen. That game was, man, Jackson State, they on another level. That's all I can say. They on another level. This team is special. And I think they're gonna do some incredible things this season. I don't think that's the first blowout you're gonna see. I mean, the last blowout you're gonna see. You're gonna see a lot of them like that. I think a lot of SWAC schools are gonna catch a beating like that. So the SWAC need to get ready. Fam, you said Musa was gonna give us problems. Musa was like a deer in headlights. Every time he snapped the ball, they was coming for him. They was gunning for him. Humbling experience. FAMU band had a home going too. Man, they did FAMU band dirty. They put them right in the sunlight. I felt so bad for them. I said, "Oh, I know they burning up," because that sun was just beaming on them. So I understand them leaving. They, from what I heard, they left because of the sun. But I don't know why they just didn't move them over to the shade, because I'm pretty sure people would have got up. People would have got up and let the band sit there and just moved over, because there was enough seats down at the bottom for the band to move over and the people to sit in the shade as well. So they hearts are torn to pieces. Right, man. God, I couldn't believe it though. Shador looked amazing. Like, this year one to year two jump, it's been amazing. Like, you could tell he's calm. He knows what he's doing. The moment isn't too big for him. He's going through his progressions. He's taking what the defense gives him. Man, he's doing a great job. And Coach Brett, you got to give it to him. He called some good plays for the offense. Had them rolling. They only got like 90 something yards running the ball. So they were just pretty much throwing the ball the whole game. Take them to the king. Right. We didn't even have a fifth quarter. Yeah, man. And I love the fifth quarters. I always stay for the fifth quarter. I usually go for the zero quarter too, especially when they play Southern. I always go for the zero quarter, but yeah, they had to get up out of there. I wish they would let FAMU band sit somewhere else. But yeah, I had a good time. I met some of the content creators down there too. I met up with Ken Clark. Shout out to 1400 Club. Met him, cool brother. I met Coach from Tomorrow Leader Sports Network. Met up with him, another good brother. I also met up with Stephen Campbell. Y'all know him from the comments. Stephen Campbell. I met up with him too. He had a box, invited me to his box. Let your boy drink. Welcome me nicely, man. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate him. And sing them this song. We would fam you so bad. I think we owe D2 schools some money. The halftime show was on ESPN Plus. Okay, well, they learned from their mistakes. They need to show the halftime. Will JSU score 100 points? I don't know about that. I don't think Coach Brown will let them do that. But you got to wonder if Jackson State put 60 something up on Alabama A&M last year. You got to wonder what they're gonna do this year. Because it could get ugly for Alabama A&M. I don't know if Jackson State is gonna play with that passion that they had last year, because Coach Maynard was talking a lot of noise last year, so they was very motivated for that game. So I don't know if they'll do the same thing this year. But man, they come at Alabama A&M with the fire they came with FAMU, it's gonna get ugly for them. Mr. Ford gonna go in on FAMU. Yeah, man. For that game to be on national TV, that was a good recruiting tool for Jackson State. I mean, you know how many recruits watched that game last night and thought, "Wow, I can go there and be something." You got Travis Hunter, and Coach Brown said Travis Hunter was just at 60%. Imagine when he gets to 100%. It's gonna be crazy. I just wanted to thank all the lizards for the bulletin board material. Bama South homecoming will be interesting. It starts at the top, said Mr. Ford. Yeah. Yeah. And I feel bad for Coach Simmons. I know, him being such a good coach, you don't want him to go out like that, but dang. I mean, they got took it to the woodshed, man. That was a beating. But did you see the memes on Twitter? Yeah, I seen I seen one where they put the FAMU logo and they had the Phonics song playing, and they had the funny songs on the L letter. Yeah, I seen all the memes, man. People going in on FAMU. FAMU still gonna win out. It doesn't matter if they win out. If Jackson State win all their games, it don't matter. I wonder where they're gonna rank Jackson State this week though in the LCS standings. That's what I want to know. That's what I want to see. I want to see if they're gonna show Jackson State some love, or they still gonna downplay it. You know, that's what I'm waiting on. Jackson State should definitely be a top 10 team in the FCS after this week. If they not top 10, it's some fluke stuff going on with the whoever voting on the rankings. Top 10. Yes, you talking. So I think we're 10. Now I know I seen one poll that said we were 10, but I think that's kind of like a fan page. I don't think that's an official SWAC. I mean, official FCS page. I know FCS Radio, I think it's called. I don't know if it's official though. Right now, JSU at 17. So they already did the new ones. Is this one the ones for this week? Blue got us at 9. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know I've seen a lot of polls out, but they're from people that don't really vote. So most people saying that Jackson State should be top 10 though. And by the end of the year, if they're dominant like this all season long, they should definitely be top 5. And that's going to be really interesting if a top 5 team don't go to the playoffs. That's gonna be a lot of headlines. A lot of people gonna be complaining, saying, "Oh, they don't go to the playoffs." Man, let me tell you, the stuff I've been seeing on Twitter. I've been seeing so many excuses. Like, you seen ESPN posting clips of Jackson State, and you go in the comments and you see all these people. Oh, they playing FCS. Oh, they ain't playing nobody. Now, if Alabama did this exact same thing to FAMU, it would be a totally different story. Nobody would be saying anything. But when Jackson State does it, now all of a sudden it's just FCS. All is just this, is just that. But Jackson State beat a team 59-3, just like Alabama beat FCS teams. They beat FCS teams with the same kind of score. But because Jackson State did it, now they want to downplay it. That's the kind of stuff they just makes me mad with these people, man. Then they talk about Travis Hunter. Because FSU won. FSU won against LSU, which I hate. I hate they won. But they gave them a little ammunition to talk a little bit. Like, oh yeah, I bet Travis Hunter wish he came to FSU. No, he don't. Y'all be a sorry LSU team. LSU ain't doing nothing this year. They got all their players leaving now. because they racist fans at LSU is sending them death threats and all kind of racial stuff because they lost the game against the FSU. But that's what I've been saying. That's why these kids should go to HBCUs, so you won't have to worry about being mistreated by your fan base. We don't do stuff like that. We're not about to send you death threats because you lost a football game. You know, people that do that, that's people that don't even think of you as a human. They look at you as just higher entertainment. That's all that is. But I'm gonna open up the phone lines for y'all to call in. I know a lot of y'all want to call in and speak about what you thought of the game. So let me open up the phone lines for y'all. Hold on just a second. All right. All right. The phone lines are open. Phone numbers on the screen. Y'all can call in. Let us know what you think about the game. Who do you think can beat Jackson State this season? It's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one this year. I don't see them losing. I don't know who can beat them. Maybe Campbell can get them a game, but I don't know. I don't see it unless Southern just come out shocking people. Now Southern blew somebody out 80-something-0. They played an NAIA school, and come on, Southern, y'all shouldn't have did them people like that. Y'all playing these community colleges. All right, I got a call coming in, y'all. Hold on. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
What's going on, bud? It's Gabriel from Memphis. How you doing tonight?
What's going on, Gabriel? Did you watch the game?
I tell you what. Yeah, I saw it, man. I tell you what. I was not expecting that.
Yeah,
man. And I tell you what. Like Prime was saying. What's his name? Travis Hunter. He was only like 61%.
Yeah.
And shut down that whole side of the field.
Right.
And then Shador, man, he was like a surgeon. He was like a surgeon, just cutting them up. Now, I guess my only concern, just a little bit, was the offensive line. But that was just the first game.
That was a concern.
And I think just a little.
Man,
just a little.
Them boys were giving him a lot of time. They messed up a few snaps. They might have messed up on, that sack with Isaiah Land, that sack with him. But for the most part, they gave him a lot of time to throw the ball. He had all day back there. He was able to make a sandwich, eat it, and then throw the ball whenever he wanted to.
What you say? Make a phone call, call in for the whole team, everything.
Yeah, he was able to do whatever he wanted to do.
Okay, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get on down. Probably call back when I ask Mr. Ford or something. But I'm gonna say this right here. I think, I guess according to the season, just looking at the schedule, we don't have to beat teams. Teams got to beat Jackson State. And barring injuries, like you said earlier, I think Jackson State gonna put up some points on some more teams, and it's going to be an historic season. But I'll call back because, like I said, I want to ask Mr. Ford something.
Okay.
We'll holler.
All right. Appreciate the call. Thank you.
All right, man.
All right. All right. Let me get to the next caller. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Hey, SWAC Buzz.
Hey. What's going on?
Here. No.
What did you say?
This is Pierre. Now, I don't usually call, but I have some questions because I watched the highlights again, and then I watched the tape again. And I just want to know, who's going to take the job of slapping Willie? Do y'all want to slap Willie, or y'all want me to slap Willie? Because I didn't watch. Why is Rashad McKay in the game? I didn't watch Cameron Buckley sit 7 yards up in the slot and turn up field and catch the ball, and nobody right here. I thought this was what happened to the defense. I thought Isaiah was the truth. They didn't ruin Isaiah's life. I don't know how Isaiah's gonna get drafted after this.
Oh
Like,
no! Wow, you
like
said it ruined his life.
they ruined his life. First, he kept playing against UNC, and then they let him get the brakes beat off of him in front of all these people. I watched somebody slam him inside on one of them run plays. Looks like they knocked the dreads off that boy. I don't know what this was. Somebody do something. Somebody say something. Willie needs to be. Kofi needs to get him at least once.
So what school you represent?
That's like me embarrassing my mama out in company.
What's
wrong with you?
What school you represent though? I need to know that.
We only go for the Tigers. We wanted to beat the Lizards real bad.
Oh, okay.
We wanted to beat the Lizards real bad. But I didn't want the Lizards to die like this. They just let them bake out in the sun and just dry up. Willie, do something. SOS. That's just shameful. It wasn't even funny. It got to the point where I started to feel bad. Like, why y'all got these kids in this press conference? Let them leave. That's wrong. This is bullying. Somebody, wow. I'm telling you.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
Well, I appreciate the call. That was funny. Thank you, sister.
You're welcome.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Let me get to the next caller. What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
All
right, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing real good. I watched the hello?
Yeah, I'm here. You got to turn the stream off in the background. It's gonna play during the stream, so it'll loop back.
Okay, I turned it down.
Yeah,
I turned it all the way down.
Okay,
is that good?
Yeah, go ahead. You good?
Hey, how you doing, my man? Hey, this is J Dog DMV5, man, up here in DC. I watched the game yesterday, and the gentleman that just called earlier, well, the gentleman just off the phone, I agree with him. A couple of times, the offensive line had me wondering about the habits, like last year when they let land on that, get Shador on that stunt. But then, like you said, the rest of the game, they picked it up, gave Shador plenty of time. I like the way Bartolome's schemed his offense. It's going to be real hard to stop Jackson State this year.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing I wanted to say was that the guard center speed and footwork is 10 times better on this offensive line, man. And if you know any of the great running backs that ever ran to glory, they ran behind great lines with great guards. Emmitt Smith, Nate Newton, Barry Allen,
Yeah.
In 2024, I think they should seriously start talking about Shador for Heisman if he continues on this path.
Yeah. I think
nobody's talking.
We'll see if they give him their love. We'll see if they give him that love. He's on the FCS level, so there's a lot of hate go on with that. But I think if he dominates and he's clearly one of the best players in college football, somebody's gonna start speaking him up for the Heisman.
They got to, man. I mean, because right now they saying he's probably. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the entire country, not just the FCS.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just off of one game.
Yeah.
It's what he showed last year with the IQ, the snap reads, all that stuff, man. This kid is special, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to anoint him too early and then something happen or whatever, but he's from a good pedigree, man. He knows what he's doing, and the ceiling is high. The ceiling is high, my brother.
Definitely.
I'll be in Jackson, man, for the Southern game.
Oh yeah, that's a good one to go to.
Yeah. My wife's gonna get me there with us. I'll be rocking all my JSU stuff or whatever. But my podcast should be up and running by then. So hopefully I can get some love from you, brother.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Try to help me along a little bit.
Oh yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind helping people
Hey,
out.
each one teach.
Right.
Hey, each one teach one, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get to the next. Yeah, go ahead and finish up.
Okay.
I got other calls I got to get to, but go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna say, man, as black people, man, we need to be more kind towards each other, man.
Right.
We really do, man. It'll go so much more better. But anyway, man, God bless you, man. Continue to do what you do. Bless your family, man, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. We got my guy, Mr. Ford, calling in. Y'all already know Mr. Ford about to tell it like it is. What's going on, Mr. Ford?
Hey, this is Mr. Ford. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You good to go?
Yeah. Let me go ahead on and let y'all know, guys. They've already started the should do it for Heisman. It started. It's in the today's USA Today. One of their writers has said that he is definitely a legitimate Heisman Trophy candidate. This morning, GMA highlighted should do in Jackson State. If y'all didn't see it, go back and look at it. LeBron highlighted Jackson State and
yeah, I retweeted that.
Yeah, okay. Now, the thing that I want to say to all of you North Dakota freaks, why these people highlighting Shadua and Jackson State and they didn't say nothing about North Dakota State? Somebody explain that to me, okay? Because you got it's a crew of our people. They think that Jackson State can't do nothing unless they go to isn't that Fargo, North Dakota, or somewhere? Where's that they want them to go?
They know what it's called. Fargo Stadium
whatever.
or something like that.
But anyway, all these people highlighting Shadua. One of the writers on the USA Today said today, if you go back and look at the paper, he said that boy is a legitimate Heisman Trophy candidate. Okay, so for all you North Dakota freaks, whatever, why they didn't say nothing about North Dakota State? That's a lot I got to say, but I'd rather let the people do the questioning and Ernest Shavers. I see, that's right.
I want to hear your
Ernest Shavers.
I want to hear your opinion on the game. What do you think about the game?
Listen, Deion told us that team was better in every aspect. Listen, like I told some people called me today. This is what I told them. You see how great this team looks. This team not missing Malachi Wideman, who is a pro prospect. They not missing Shiloh Sanders. They not missing, what's that boy name, like that Hampton kid from last year?
Keontae Hampton.
Remember the linebacker? His name was Hampton.
Keontae Hampton.
He ain't missing none of them. And he told us, this wide receiving core is unreal, man. This wide receiving core is unreal. Now Jackson State getting ready to turn into DBU. You see how many DBs they got?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, what's the name came in? Nugget. Nugget came in as the number one JUCO DB. He was wanted by the University of Georgia. He's fighting for playing time.
Right.
They got people looking better than him.
Mm-hmm.
Listen.
And they asked him about that in the press conference.
Yeah. I mean, the sky's the limit, man. It's so many, as I was watching the game, so many things crossed my mind. You know, I'm a history person. There you go. Katron Evans, who I think, didn't Katron go to University of Tennessee? You picked the 65 best athletes in your program, and you leave Malachi Wideman and Katron Evans, and you don't even miss them? Come on, man. Listen, the team, the era I thought about was that era. Now, this is for the old heads. Do y'all remember Grambling? This was after James Harris. This was before the coming of Doug Williams. They had a quarterback named Matthew Reed down at Grambling. And he had people like Sammy White on the team with him. Sammy went to the NFL. Gary Big Hands Johnson was on the team. He went to the San Diego Chargers. That was like 71, 72, 73 era. That's how I just hadn't seen a team as dominant as what I witnessed yesterday since that Grambling era. of probably about 71, 72, and 73. Like I said, this was after Shaq Harris had left, and this was before the coming of Doug Williams. The quarterback, he did get drafted. His name was Matthew Reed, and he went to the New York Jets, but he didn't make it with the Jets. He played in the World Football League. I don't know if y'all remember that. We had something called the World Football League, and then he eventually went to the Canadian League.
Oh, yeah,
But
I
I
remember
just
that.
was thinking about different eras. Now, I don't know. Now, the old heads of Jackson, you remember the Bob Hill era? That was Doom Brazil. This was, what's the boy that we talk about? Walter Payton and them, Vernon Perry. If you go back and look at that 1973 Jackson State team, where it just listen, SWAC, I'm not exaggerating, when it looked like the whole team got drafted. It was that offensive lineman that's in the Hall of Fame. He played for the Rams. He blocked for Walter Payton. You remember? You know who I'm talking about? Them guys played for Bob Hill. You know that offensive lineman? He was he played in the NFL about 20 years. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I'm trying to think of. I know he's a
Hall
of Fame. He's a Hall of Famer. Yeah.
It was Jackie Slater, Vernon Perry, a boy that got in a lot of trouble in the league. But yep, Doom Brazil. That was a guy named Donald Reese. That was a dominant period in Jackson State's history. It was I'm 110 years old. But anyway, it's just so many things crossed my mind yesterday just watching that dominant. I'm just all I'm saying is this, guy. Right now, Jackson State is just it. You know, they doing it on the field, they doing it off the field. What do I think about Jackson State offense? I just think they're just great. I love that offensive line. I was waiting to see. That's right, Leon. Let me tell you about Leon Graves, JSU Tiger 85. Now, the greatest offensive lineman in the history of the University of Alabama played with Leon Gray up with the New England Patriots. I think his name was Jerry Sizemore. Bear Bryant said that's the greatest offensive lineman that he had ever coached. Now, when Jerry Sizemore got to the New England Patriots and was playing with Leon Gray, he said that Leon Gray was the greatest offensive lineman he had ever played with. They called Sizemore, they called him Hog, they called Leon Gray Dog. Now, Leon eventually left New England and went and played with Earl Campbell down there with the Houston Oilers. There were 3 Jackson State players on that team. It was Leon Gray, Doom Brazil, and Vernon Perry. All of them started. Vernon was a free safety. Leon was an offensive tackle. Doom Brazil was an outside linebacker. That was that. Remember, they used to call the Houston Oilers "Love You Blue." 3 of them starters was from Jackson State. Yeah.
Somebody asked, "What do you think about Jackson State offense?"
I mean, man, it's
You heard me, Mr. Ford?
Man, listen, huh?
I said, someone asked, "What do you think about Jackson State offense, new offense?"
Oh man, it's awesome, man. It's them. Listen, man. Like I said, SWAC, you can leave Malachi Wideman at home. Malachi finished last season as like a All-American. You can leave him at home, and then, okay, you don't even miss him. You can leave, like I said, there's Evans kid. Leave him at home. Did anybody mention Shiloh Sanders yesterday?
Nope.
Okay. Remember the Hampton kid that was the linebacker last year? They not missing him.
Nope. They got some guys.
The sky's the limit, man. I'm like I said. What I was thinking about was eras yesterday. There was an era of Tennessee State. There was an era of Jackson State under W.C. Gordon. There was an era of Jackson State under Bob Hill. There was a 3 or 4 year era of Rudy Hubbard at Florida A&M. This is going to be a heavily written about era. This whole thing with Deion Sanders. This guy is just personally just raising the bar for black college football. And he's basically telling everybody in the SWAC, either you're going to upgrade or I'm going to embarrass you. That's what he's telling them.
Yeah,
you're going to upgrade or I'm going to embarrass you.
Let me say this real quick, Mr. Ford. Hey, y'all, let's get the likes up. We got over 400 people in here tonight, and we only got 120 likes. Let's get the likes up. Just close the chat box out for a minute. for a second, hit the like button, then open the chat box again. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. But Mr. Ford, where do you think FAMU can go from here? Do you think, because they coming out two big losses?
You know, people been calling me about that all day about this FAMU thing. Let me say this again, SWAC. The FAMU situation is simple. FAMU's biggest problem is not on the field. FAMU's biggest problem is off the field. The Florida A&M University family has to go head on and make up their mind that a change has to be made at the top. They can't go no farther. Okay? He's doing all this stuff now to try to save his job. Now, I don't know if y'all listened to, I listened to it Friday. They had a Board of Trustees meeting with him, and he had to explain some things. And basically, it was damage control. Until Florida A&M makes a change at the top, they can't see. You know, I said this summer to the people that were listening. This is what it is. It's President Hudson versus President Robertson. President Hudson wins. It's A.D. Ashley Robertson versus a full-time interim athletic director at FAMU. A.D. Ashley Robertson wins. Like I told Blue last night, listen to me very carefully. That football team at Jackson State is Deion Sanders' baby. If Deion Sanders says to President Hudson and Ashley Robertson, I want the moon, that next Monday morning, those two men are going and put a down payment on it. On the other side over here, Willie Simmons got a president that's a person to me that don't care about the university, and he definitely don't care about athletics. So that's what I think y'all need to understand that. One, Deion Sanders got all the support in the world, and this other guy, Willie Simmons, don't have no support at all. Okay? So y'all figure that out.
You know what shocked me yesterday? Even though the running game didn't get that many yards, I like Santi Marshall yesterday. I like the way he ran yesterday behind the
Yeah, I like Marshall. I like the boy from the junior college. What's his name? Number 8. What's the boy's name from the junior college?
That Hunt?
Wait a minute. He was on the team last year, but he's a different kid this year. He wears number 8. What's his name? He's for Jackson. That boy's gonna turn it out this year. He's number 8. But the other
I'm trying to remember. I know Hunt. Hunt is not number 8, is he?
J.D. Martin.
Yeah, okay, Martin.
J.D. Martin, he's gonna show out this year. And so is that kid from Delaware State. That kid from Delaware State is gonna show out. That kid from Delaware State is gonna show out.
Yeah,
what's his name? What's the kid from Delaware State name?
Mr. Ford, you know you be killing me with these names.
He's a running back that transferred to Jackson. There he is, Wilkerson.
Yeah.
Man, listen, now you got people who say that Wilkerson was the best back in the MEAC last year. That boy is gonna turn it out. I mean, listen, man.
I think the offense is predicated on the pass, though.
Listen, man, this guy made a lot of boss moves, man. This guy made a lot. We call them boss moves, man. From going and getting them people for that offensive line. And let me tell you about this defense Jackson got. They are smaller, but they're so much faster. And see, one of the things we used to do on defense, we wanted kids on defense, once they would beat, they could recover. On that defensive line, all of them guys can get beat and then recover. Listen, let me tell you something. A star in the making is that Byron Hobson, that number that 47. He's from.
Oh yeah, he nice.
That kid is from Leesburg, Georgia, I believe. That boy is a star in the making.
Right.
He is a star in the making. And remember that. Listen, that boy that came in from Texas A&M, that's a man. That Doyle, what's his name? Doyle. I think he wearing 20. He just abused that offensive tackle on our FAMU side. But that Doyle kid, that kid is for real. He is for real.
Let me say this, Mr. Ford.
Like I said, please don't forget this. Remember, I told you this. Jackson State is getting ready to be DBU, baby.
Right.
All them corners you seeing for Jackson, all them dudes gonna get a shot at the league because they can all play man to man. They can all take off anybody.
Let me say this real quick. caller that just hung up, you can call back in. Y'all can the callers that just hung up, y'all can call back in. I'll put you on the show. So just call back in and just hold on for a few seconds, and then I get you on. Shout out to Mr. Campbell too. He's in the chat too as well.
Yeah, Mr. Campbell's in the chat. Mm-hmm.
But so if you had to pick a team that could give Jackson State some trouble,
you know who that is. You know, I got two of them. Listen, I don't give a damn if Alcorn don't win a game. They're going to get Jackson problem.
Oh,
so
really?
That's Mississippi versus Mississippi.
Yeah.
Now, you know them Negroes down there in Baton Rouge is going to be ready now. You already know that. That's history. You know that now. I don't give a damn if Alcorn don't win a game, baby. They'll come to Jackson, and they will show they you know what. Okay? That's just how that is. Okay,
we'll see.
But now let me tell you this. Now we talking about Eric Dooley. We talking about, you know, come on now. You know Southern gonna be ready now. Southern gonna be ready. Listen, that boy gonna have them boys ready in Memphis next week. Now, and this is another thing I was talking to some people about today. I can understand why Jackson doesn't want to go back to Memphis under that Leach, who they calling which I'll call him a contractor or something, a promoter. Listen. You go home and home. Tennessee State comes to Jackson. Jackson State don't make $4 or $5 million. They go up there to Memphis. That man gonna get him what, $300,000 or $400,000? I don't blame Jackson State for don't want to be on the no. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something, man. See, all these promoters, them dudes are leeches, man. Atlanta's filled with them. They are leeches. And I'm so glad that Jackson State done woke up and yeah, that's right.
Miss Ford.
That's right. There you go. Them promoters. See, them promoters, them leeches.
Miss Ford.
And he doing right. Listen, Tennessee State come to Jackson. Jackson.
All right. Let me get to these callers. Hold on, y'all. Let me get this call on. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
How you doing?
Doing great. What's going on? Talk to me.
I'm new to your channel, but I've been tuning in. I just wanted to get on and throw my 2 cents because I'm from Oakland, but my folks is from Mississippi. I grew up. I was gonna go to Jackson State, but even though I didn't go there, I bleed blue and white. My family, I love Jackson State, but for the football team, one, like I know it's a number of different conversations, but I just wanted to chime in on the first part, like how people conversate about how Deion might somebody might pull him away. What people are not realizing that like what he can do at Jackson State, he can separate himself from any other athlete, any other coach at any time and never be done before or again. Because he not only uplifting a school, he's uplifting a whole state. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the numbers, but they had gave the numbers of how much more revenue came into the state just by Jackson State alone, the football team.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember those numbers. They put in a few million to the city.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then also, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but a couple years ago, it's a black lady. She's an executive at Amazon. I'm not sure if she still is, but she had kickstarted a tech initiative to be started in the Jackson area. So like it would incentivize tech companies to start building within Jackson. That's another thing that can also bring a lot more attention and everything to the state. But yeah, they on the road, and right. I really don't think I don't think it's no stopping what they can do, because also people don't realize, they keep saying that this is his third season, but technically it's his second season. One of the things that I just came across, I'm not sure if you've seen it, but it was like a little clip from when it was before pregame, but him and Travis Hunter they embraced and had like a hug. But yeah, how significant that is, because people that are from our culture, we understand that he is going to start not just getting the best players, but a certain type of player, like the grittiest, the best, really the best of the best. and they're going to be incentivized to play for him, because it's not just playing for a coach, but it's almost like playing for a family member, somebody that you know is going to have your best interest. It's, you know, it's what's understood don't got to be explained. But like, he definitely they gonna be causing a lot of trouble.
Right. Thank you for the call. I'm gonna get to the next caller. Appreciate you for tuning in and supporting the show. Thank you for the call.
Oh yeah, of course.
All right. What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, boss? How you feeling?
Doing good. How you doing?
Man, I'm great, man. I don't know what all these people talking about, finances and stuff. I want to talk about football, and we gonna talk about the numbers, man. Ain't nobody in the SWAC stopping Jackson State, period.
Right. Speak on it.
I don't see it happening, and I'm gonna say this: UNC beat FAMU by what? I forgot the score, but the numbers that FAMU put up did not happen against Jackson State. Travis Hunter is on the island. Aubrey Miller is highly underrated. The quarterback play was excellent. O-line was excellent. I don't see nobody in the SWAC beating us. Nobody HBCU. We have to go up to the big boys, point blank period. Like, I'm sorry, but we running through everything.
So you don't see nobody.
Yeah, that's all. So go ahead, bro.
So you don't see nobody giving y'all any trouble. Any trouble.
Nobody. I don't see Southern doing it. All point, like, let's be honest. And I'm rooting for Valley.
You kind of muffling your phone a little bit. Are you covering your phone
up? My bad, bro. My bad.
Okay,
I started writing down. Yeah.
All right.
I don't see Southern pulling it off. Southern not pulling it off, even though they had a dominant game this weekend. They really surprised me with that score, but I just don't see it happening. It's not enough coaching, not enough resources, and not enough talent. The talent we got. Travis Hunter is on the island. Like, I don't think everybody saw the dominant play he had because he locked down the whole side of the field. He only got targeted, about 4 times? The man is a problem. That defensive line is a problem. Aubrey Miller and that linebacker core are problems. And then we can go up and put 60 points up on anybody. I just don't see it. And that's me being realistic. I don't see it, bro.
All right. Well, thank you for the call. Let me get to the other caller. Thank you.
Good job, bro.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Ford, I'm going to get back to you in just a moment. Let me get a few of these calls out the way.
Okay. Okay.
What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
Oh, what's up, man? How you doing?
Doing good.
I do have some questions real quick. Was Charlo injured this game? Like, cause I know, like, I was watching this one thing and like people kept asking, "Was Charlo? Like, was he injured?"
Well, he had surgery, so you know he's getting back to 100%. So they probably just give him some time before they bring him back.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. Cause I know Travis had hurt his ankle. Cause I know some people was like, why he didn't play both ways? And I was like, well, did you not watch the press conference when he had a cast on his leg? So I was even surprised that they let him play. He still had an amazing performance. In spite, coming back out of the injury. So man, like, shouts out to all them boys, though, man.
Yeah,
like, for real. But yeah, like that. Now that's all I want to say, man. Just shout out to Channel, bro. Appreciate what you're doing. Like I always come and get whatever news I get from HBCU and JSU, like your channel, bro. Shout you out, bro.
All right. Appreciate the support, and thank you for the call.
All right.
We got a few coming in. Hold on, let me get the next one. What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
What's going on, boss?
Yeah.
I agree with the other caller, man.
Yeah. You sound kind of muffled. Do you got the phone up to your face?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
No, you kind of sound like you're laying on the phone, man. You laying on the phone? What you got going on?
Hold on. How about now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah. I agree with the other caller. I don't think nobody gonna be able to mess with Jackson, and it's because of the coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis Dummer is running the same defense he was running in the NFL. You go back and look at when Dennis Dummer was running defense in the NFL. That's the same defense, and they got Mike Zimmer. He watching tape right now as we speak. game planning. And that's why I don't think nobody's gonna be able to mess with Jackson State. I don't think nobody gonna score 14 points on the exact honest with you. And I want to say another thing. Mr. Ford told y'all what had to happen a while back. Mr. Ford, what you said got to happen in the summertime, in the spring?
Hey, it's all about June and July, man. If you didn't do what you were supposed to do, you were gonna get blowed out.
Right.
You were gonna get exposed.
Okay.
Right.
They got exposed.
Like I said, they got exposed. And I think FAMU gonna. The other tough game might be against the Southern, but I think FAMU gonna be all right. They just got out coached and outplayed. If y'all want to go back and watch the game with no sound. FAMU players, they made a lot of mistakes. The bar came into blitz. The running back looked at him and went the other way. You know what I mean? They just made a lot of errors, mistakes, man. Y'all just got to go back and watch that game with no sound. And just watch it, man. And you'll see they just got out-coached, man. I'm gone.
All right, thank you for the call. All right, let me get the next one. Y'all calling tonight. Let me get the next one. What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
Hey, I was just calling in just to answer your question.
Go ahead.
I think anybody can beat Jackson State if they're not humble. If they're focused, laser focused, nobody can beat them. But I think we got to remember what happened with South Carolina State last year. And I think that loss is the catalyst for what we're seeing now. And we just got to keep that hunger week in and week out. It's not about doing it one time. It's about doing it over and over and over. And you can't let up. You can't get too happy. We as fans, we can get happy, but I hope the players don't get, too cocky about a victory like this. With that said, man, I really go ahead.
I don't see them making that mistake again. I think even though they probably come across as a braggadocious team, I think they're still going to be locked in and focused on every opponent because they know what that feel like. They know that they got a target on their back now. Everybody, they're going to be like the Miami Heat when they had LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. There was a target on their back. Everybody was giving them their best game. So that's what you're going to get in the SWAC now. Everybody's going to get up to play Jackson State because they're going to want to be that team to beat Jackson State. So I don't think they're going to be too cocky now. They know that they got to get up every weekend to play hard or you're going to get beat. And people ready to roast. They ready to joke on y'all. So that's what I think.
I agree with you. And one reason why I think that they're not going to is because even on an individual level, if you don't bring it every day in practice, you can lose your spot. So I think each player has a hunger. I love the way that this team utilizes a lot of different players, so we don't just rely on one person. Even down to the offensive line. At first, I was like, y'all are switching up the offensive line, but I think it's good. It adds depth to where if one man goes down, you won't see a drop off with all of these positions, whether it's running back, whether it's wide receiver, whether it's D-line, linebacker, secondary. My goodness, everybody's going to get playing time, and I think that's a good thing for recruiting. I was looking at it from a recruiting standpoint. If I'm a recruit and I'm seeing these freshmen playing, getting good touches, getting exposure, everybody getting to play, I mean, I would want to be a part of that. And I think everybody's bought in too, because that you have a chance of getting on the field. If you play well in practice, that you can have a chance of playing or at least getting a series, a drive. And I think it helps everybody's morale when they feel like they're contributing. So I think what they got going on with this depth is crazy. And one thing I did want to ask you and Mr. Ford, especially both of y'all, if y'all watched the Tennessee State game and if y'all watched the North Carolina Central game, because what I was thinking was we have some good black college football going on, HBCU football going on. And I wish they would come to the SWAC and we can just make this the SEC for real. Like Tennessee State, y'all played great against Stephen F. Austin, but nobody was there. Nobody really cared. They don't care this week.
Yeah.
Why don't you come bring that good football over here? Could you imagine them in the Eastern Division
of the SWAC, that would be great. I just don't know why they're so uppity, in my opinion.
I mean, that's up to their ADs and their presidents. You know, they make the rules and they choose the direction they want their schools to go into. So nothing we can do about it. I've been preaching for the longest that Tennessee State would be perfect for the SWAC, but they going in a different direction with their program. They say they're trying to get to the FBS level, and they're on the path that they think is best for that. So we just gonna let them do them. What you got to say about that, Mr. Ford?
I agree. I told you over and over. I think Dr. Glover is a brilliant woman. She has a law degree. She has a PhD. She has a doctorate, but she doesn't understand how to run an athletic program. I've said it for years. When the Tennessee State left the independent status and went into the OVC, their program has collapsed. They are a shell of themselves. Now, I heard a lot of people are playing up and talking about how good they are. Baby, it's on the line this week in Memphis. Saturday night, going to tell the story.
Yeah,
Saturday night, it's going to tell the story.
Well, thank you for the call.
Go ahead. Hold on. Can I get one last question into y'all?
Yeah, go ahead and finish. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I was going to ask Mr. Ford, is it time to apologize to the O-line coach at Jackson State? Was it just the players last year? Because the offensive line looked pretty good.
And they're going to get better. They look good, but they're going to get better. They got some ballers out there. Them two boys from Southern, I'm not ULM.
Yeah.
And they got a kid from Louisiana Lafayette. Them kids can ball now. They can play. But my thing is, I watched them yesterday, is they're going to get better. And the other thing I liked yesterday was their utilization of the tight ends. Did you see the kid from Marshall? And then there was a kid. It was one kid was 84. He was nice. I love the kid was number 86. See, that's one thing I was upset about with Jackson last year. I didn't think that they utilized the tight ends enough. Now, that brings me to Florida A&M again. See, with that offensive line, especially on that left side being as weak as it is for Florida A&M, they got to play two tight ends. I talked to some Florida A&M people today, and I told them, I said, listen, do you remember Dan Fouts? And some of them did and some of them didn't. I said, that's what you got. This Musa kid, he's like Dan Fouts. He's a big guy, can throw it all over the field, but he's more like a statue. There's no dual threat. And so Willie's going to have to amend that offense. He got to change some things. Mm-hmm. And what they got to do with this kid here, because he can't evade the rush, he's got to play two tight ends. You play a wing tight end, which is primarily a pass receiver, but you play one tight end that helps the offensive line. See, when Dan Fouts was around, he had two tight ends. One was named Greg McCrary. He was the blocker. The other one was Kesselin Winslow, the pass catcher. That's what FAM has got to go to, because that offensive line right now, not only that offensive line is real green. It's a lot of young boys up in there. And that boy that was on the left side, man, that Doyle kid ate his lunch, man. That boy ate his lunch, man. And see, you can't leave a kid like that on the outside by himself. He has to play with a tight end. Now, personally, I think when Florida A&M plays Albany State this week, they're going to make a lot of changes to that offensive line.
Right.
They're going to make a lot of changes.
Miss Ford.
Now, the other thing, and let me give a second excuse for Florida A&M. One thing I noticed too, Florida A&M has lost a lot of their coaches. I don't know if y'all noticed that. A lot of their coaches is gone. And the main one I missed last night was that, last night, that I think his name is Rachek. He was at Alcorn. He came to FAMU. He left FAMU this year and went to Tennessee Tech. The other guy was on the defensive side of the ball. He left and went to Purdue. I'm telling you now, they missing them guys.
All right. Appreciate that, Ms. Ford. Let me get to the next person that's calling in. Hold on just a second, y'all. What's going on, Carly? You live. Talk to me.
What's up, Sway, bud? This is Larry, man. I appreciate you taking my call, man. I'm one of them Negroes Mr. Ford was talking about from Southern. So I just wanted to call in.
Go ahead.
And man, man. So I do believe that Jackson State will lose. Like I said, I predict that if it's not Southern, this is another thing. And the reason why I say that is the greatest thing that Dion helped us, and even me being a Southern Jaguar fan, he helped everybody else with notoriety, publicity, and better recruits because everybody knows that everybody can't fit on Jackson State roster. So they helped everybody else out. And I hope everybody watch that. Like you said, we coming and everybody else is coming with their best. They you know, it's gonna be a Nita Baker. They're gonna give you the best they got. And so the thing about it is, I really feel like, and this gonna shock y'all, but if y'all saw Bethune-Cookman and how Jalen Jones played his butt off on a ranked team now that they predicting they're going to be in this playoff. He stood tall. He was with accuracy. And obviously you saw what we did. But like I said, somebody going to beat a Valley look good as well. Somebody going to shock it. I don't know if it's going to be in the mud game or what. It's going to be them. And something else I was thinking as well, the NCAA has already gone to a 12 game, and I'm going to always keep bringing up that about the 14 playoff with the HBCUs. So if they're progressing, I feel like the black colleges need to progress as well. All these ADs, these commissioners need to get together. And like I said, let's get all together in a champion 14 playoff, and then they can meet, you know, at a bowl game. And the other thing that I wanted to say as well, about the Celebration Bowl, I just even if Jackson State win, even though, you know, I'm a Southern fan, if I even saw Jackson State winning, I don't see them, you know, winning all the games, but even if they do win, the biggest goal for me personally is whoever wins the SWAC. I'm tired of the SWAC looking like Green Bay in the NFL. We do real good in our company, and when it comes to the game, we lose. And I'm sick of that. I'm sick of these MEAC. And I'm like, my goodness, can we beat them, please? And, you know, I'm glad Alabama State, because Alabama State is another one that's coming as well. And I don't know if y'all seen them as well, because Davis is not playing. He's legit. And so, again, I just, like I said, man, I just hope that whoever goes, we beat the MEAC. And the last thing, I'm going to end it with this.
Go ahead.
I see about almost 600 people, man, in your make sure y'all with Swag Buzz, you know, I want to say this as a fan. Y'all like, share, and subscribe, man. Like, share, and subscribe. Swag Buzz and Mr. Ford, they could be hanging out with that drunk Q that called in last week. They could be having something else to do, man. But they letting us do our calls, letting us do our comments, and I appreciate it, man. And Swag, if you don't already, man, have you some merch, man. And I predict by the end of this year, you should be up to about 1,000, almost 1,500 fans, man, live, man. And like, you want to just go above and beyond. And I really want to predict that, man. You be the number one show for HBCU talk, man. You and Mr. Ford. So, man, y'all keep it up the great work, and you know I'm always listening, tuned in.
All right, thanks for the call.
All
right, let me get to the next caller. Before I do that, make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all. It's important to hit that like button. We got over 500 people in here. You should be at 350 at least by now. Make sure y'all hit that like button. What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
Hey, what's up, man? All right, hey, I'm KJ, man. I'm a FAMU alum. Let me just mention this much here. I heard what Mr. Ford was saying about, I had called your show probably about a month ago, man. I was just speaking on the issue about losing. We ended up losing our defensive coordinator right at the beginning of a training camp. And we ended up hiring like a safety coach and a cornerbacks coach to come in and try to replace what he was doing. And one of the issues that, you know, I was just saying was that, listen, when you do stuff like that, you know, spring practice, that's when you're doing your install. So you're getting off, guys are trying to show what they can do. Some of your red shirt freshmen, some of those different people, and you're getting your personnel set up to go. When you hit fall camp, you know, you have about 3 weeks, and then you got to start installing for the first game. So when you lose your defensive coordinator who was in charge of doing all that, that's very serious. The defensive coordinator that we have now, totally inept. And one of the things that's so kind of like terrible about when we look at what's happening with HBCU football, Jackson State has the ability to exploit that, right? Some of his deficiencies, you'll see that the inability to make in-game adjustments is not there. You see, we stay very vanilla. We stay in 2-deep coverage. So you just saw Jackson State just sit in the zones, make catches. We even had a situation where on the goal line, the first touchdown, you and I know if you played any kind of football for a defensive back, you never start backpedaling into the end zone. You never do that as a DB. So you got a DB backpedaling into the end zone. The guy that did a slant in touchdown.
Because you put too much work on yourself.
Those are the kind of different. Go ahead.
Now I was saying you putting too much work on yourself if the QB throws the short route. You know, you
right,
put too much
exactly.
work
So those are the. But again, when you got new coaches coming in who don't know the personnel, they're trying to find out on the fly. So that hurts you. But this is the thing, man. What happens again because of, and I hate to say this, because of the poor coaching in the SWAC, nobody else will probably be able to capitalize on that because the coaching is not there. So Jackson State is able to exploit it. When we go to Southeast Louisiana, you see we get exploited because that type of coaching is able to exploit those deficiencies. So what happened is this right here. We'll end up going 9-2, 8-3. And it'll look as though the defensive coordinator has made adjustments. We're doing pretty good. And you'll leave and let it scab over. And then until it pops up again, you'll start realizing we're totally inept. And that's the thing, man, that has happened over and over again. So when you saw us in Southeast Louisiana, we did the same vanilla, try to get there with 4, drop 5, and let's see what happens. And you get exploited with that without the pass rush. You know, so man, it starts to get old. Like I said, even if we go 9-2, man, we're not a playoff team. That was I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let you go. That was the worst beating FAMU has ever took in the history of its football program from another HBCU or FCS program. The worst in the 110-year history. We have never been beaten by another HBCU that bad. That's how serious that whooping was yesterday. Think about that, man.
Yeah.
All right, now I appreciate you letting me talk.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Thank you for the call. All right, let me get to the next person. What's going on? Call you live. Talk to me.
What up, Sweat Bud? This is your boy Doc Holiday, man. What's going on with you?
What's going on, Doc Holiday?
Man, ain't nothing. Just about the justice beat down that we gave it FAMU yesterday. It was just like 3 phases of the game was perfected yesterday. Offense, defense, and special teams. As far as seeing who somebody else can dominate Jackson State, I don't see nobody else can dominate them. I see only 2 teams I can kind of see give us a count for our money would be Tennessee State, especially what they did up on the red turf against Eastern Washington and also against Campbell for homecoming. But the verdict is still out on them. But what I saw yesterday, I loved it.
Yeah.
I love what I saw yesterday, man.
Your phone kind of sound muffled. You kind of sound like you're outside a little bit. Can you speak up and?
Yeah, I'm in the car. I'm in the car right now, man.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
in the car right now.
Yeah, call back when you're in a better spot.
Hey, I will.
All right, appreciate the call. Yeah, my man sounded like he was outside cutting grass or something. There's a whole lot of background noise going on. All right, the phone lines are still open if y'all want to call 657-390-4814. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you ain't subscribed yet. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Let me get Mr. Ford back on. Mr. Ford.
Okay, can you hear me, Swag?
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Ford.
Okay, now, there was a statement that I think we need to go back and do the research on now. I didn't see this game, but I kind of remember in the last 15 or 20 years, I think Hampton beat up FAM real bad. Somebody need to check that. But now the one that I do remember was 1984. FAMU invited Alcorn State to Tampa, Florida. And I think Alcorn beat them 50-0. That was a Marino Castle team. Somebody go check that. That's the team that beat Jerry Rice and them for the SWAC. That was Isaac Holt, Perry Qualls, maybe Richard Miles at quarterback. But they took them down. FAM invited them to Tampa, Florida. And they put a whooping on FAM down there. I think it was like 50-0. Somebody need to check that. It should have been the season of 1984.
Well,
somebody check that.
59-3 is worse than 50-0.
I know, but I'm just saying that he was saying that nobody had beaten them that bad. I think Like I said, y'all need to check that Hampton score too.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was Joe Taylor's team, but Hampton put a beating on FAM one year really bad.
All right, we got another call coming in. Let me see who this is. Hold on. What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
Hey, what up, man? This is Jerome from Charlotte.
What's going on, Jerome?
Okay.
Go ahead, Jerome.
Oh, okay. So just wanted to chime in, number one. Mr. Ford, I think you're right, because I'm looking at the football database right now, and you said it was Hampton, Mr. Ford?
Yeah, I think Hampton beat FAMU real bad in the last 10, 15 years. I think it was a really bad score.
Yeah, I see in 2000 they beat them 53-24.
Yeah, I thought it was something like that.
Yeah, let me see.
But look up that 84. Somebody did put it in. That Alcorn team that was national champions in 1984. They beat FAM real bad in.
Yeah, they beat them 51-14 in '84.
That's right. That was in Tampa. I remember because they invited them down there.
Yeah, they definitely, they took a whooping this weekend, and I think there were a lot of commentators after the UNC game that stated, even during the game, that UNC's defense wasn't as aggressive as they were last year.
Now, FAM has a better Jackson State has a better defensive staff than UNC got right now. Could you imagine if UNC had Dennis Thomas them? Could you imagine that with all that with Phil Longo's them offense and all that stuff they do at North Carolina, and they ain't playing no defense? You giving up 60 points and you still winning. Just take that man Dennis Thurman and that staff, that defense staff, and take them up to North Carolina and see don't they be top 5 or top 10.
Oh yeah, and that's why me personally, I'm not gonna say I was completely shocked. I knew we would beat FAMU, and I knew we would. It'd be decided by a couple of touchdowns, but the spread I was shocked by. But just from seeing UNC's defense, me knowing how aggressive Jackson State was going to come in to this game and how physical they were going to be, I definitely saw this coming. I do want to kind of pivot and kind of give a shout out to all the Jackson State fans who came out to the game to support, not only from around the country, but from the city of Jackson. Of course, as we know, they're dealing with some things, and thank you to everyone who's donated, whether it be monetarily or physically, to the university for the students. The university has set up a gap fund, so for folks who don't necessarily have the means to physically give water, they can make a donation directly to the emergency gap fund. And that's www.jsums.edu/GAP, George Alpha Paul. But that's all I got, man. I'm so excited, looking forward to.
But can you hear me before you go?
Yes, sir.
Listen, my shout out right now is what I told everybody yesterday when they had the presentation. They had Dion talking, and on the side of Dion was President Hudson and then AD Ashley Robinson. Listen, guys, I know we're not supposed to say this about black men, but them two black men together are geniuses. That's my shout out for tonight.
All right, let me get to the next caller. Hold on, y'all. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
What's up, bro? This Rick, man, from Dallas. How you doing?
What's going on out there in Dallas?
Man, we just we had a watch party, and we real Jackson State fans. This is what we got to say. First off, everybody in the SWAC need to shut the fuck up and start.
Hold on now.
I'm sorry.
Chill with the cussing now. You can say whatever you got to say, but just don't curse. Go ahead.
Everybody in the SWAC need to be quiet because FAMU is gonna get back. I'm Jackson State all day. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Went there, played there a couple years, and we look. Everybody needs to be quiet about FAMU. FAMU is going to turn this around and whoop everybody in the SWAC. Because what the SWAC showed me on Thursday night, all this with Quincy Casey, let's talk about it. Let's take Southern against Prairie View. I'm going to go with Southern. I'm not with that Southern BS. What the SWAC showed, as far as Jackson State is concerned, As far as FAMU is concerned, everybody needs to calm that down. FAMU is a good team still. I'm Jackson State all day. FAMU is a good team. We need to realize what Jackson State, I'm not saying what they're doing as far as a shutout, but as far as what they're doing as far as coaching. The coaches know what they need to put on the field to be successful in this conference and how they need to place the players. Shador is going to do what he needs to do. And as far as our run game and our offensive line, the offensive line wasn't that big of a stretch from last year, but I feel like that we don't need a lot of protection when it comes down to time for Shador to find routes with receivers. But as far as running game, I feel like we need to go ahead and just make Savion Wilkinson the starter and just go from there. So that's all I have to say about that. I just need the people to realize that the SWAC, everybody outside of FAMU and Jackson State really need to be quiet. Southern and Grambling, okay, I will concede a little bit to that. But everybody else, we need to be quiet with that.
All right, appreciate the call. Thank you. All right, y'all. The phone lines are open. If y'all want to call in, 657-390-4814. I'll take a few more calls. Call in if y'all want to call in. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. It's very important to hit the like button. Close the chat out for a little bit. Hit the like button. Open the chat up again, and y'all can continue to chat. Well, Mr. Ford, so are you going to any games this season?
Yeah. I'm trying to go to that when Jackson State comes to Montgomery. They got Alabama State for their homecoming. So that's only about 120 miles from me. Mm-hmm. So listen, and they said, Mr. Ford, what are your thoughts of the Alcorn Stephen F. Austin game? Listen, I'm waiting to see the game. I didn't see it. 2 games a lot of people are just disheartened about. Because some people feel like Alcorn should have beat Stephen F. Austin. I didn't see the game. But the other thing, all the Grambling folk is upset. I mean, I done talked about 6-7 Grambling people today. They saw the game, and they said that Grambling looked worse than FAMU. So, and then what's shocking me is the boy that I thought would start, the kid that signed originally with Syracuse, I don't even think he played.
All right, that's crazy. Let me get this next call. Hold on. Let me get this one. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Hey, how's it going?
Going great.
I'm just calling to say I think all this Jackson State, nobody can touch them in the SWAC. They only played 1 game so far. FAMU, they really didn't do anything that challenged Jackson State doing the game, offense, defense, coaching, or anything. So I think the test what it's looking like is like the biggest test of the season might be Carroll. Because everybody else already got losses. And I think the hype is kind of too early. Kind of like Notre Dame.
So
every year.
So you don't believe the Jackson State hype?
Same thing. I'm not falling for the okie doke. I'll wait till about the 6th. I'm just saying, teams will always get this hype. No, Notre Dame, since 1988. And every year they fall flat on their face. Notre Dame back this year, guess what they did? Lost to Ohio State. When they played Alabama in the championship game about 8 years ago, I blew out. Played them again in the championship. In the playoffs. Lost it again. I might on a wait and see mode. No, prove it. Instead of 1 game, they beat FAMU. Oh, well, it's a 2-loss team now.
What school you representing?
In a school in Alabama.
Oh, what
I'm from Alabama.
Oh, you from Alabama? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see what Alabama is.
Well, I'm from around Huntsville, but I ain't gonna even say nothing about them. There's no challenge for nobody this year. But I'm just saying I don't want to wait in C mode because if they lose, I can't wait to see that egg on the face. And I bet all these bloggers and chat lines, the call lines will be real quiet. right after the game. It won't be nobody calling me and bragging or none of that.
Okay.
I want them to keep that same energy when they do lose. The egg on their face, one slip up, and I hope they lose by like a 1 point or something, missed field goal at the end of the game. That just gonna make it even better.
I appreciate the call. Thank you.
All right.
My man sound like Uncle Ruckus. Oh man, he ready for Jackson State to lose. He gonna call in clowning when if Jackson State lose. But my man sound just like Uncle Ruckus from the Boondocks. Let me get this next caller. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Hey, what up, bro?
What's going on?
This is your mom calling from Baton Rouge, man.
Go ahead.
So look, all right. So look, like shout out to Jackson State. They looking real good right now. And me personally, like with Florida A&M, I think by them playing that North Carolina game, that momentum they try to take from that shit ain't work. Oh my bad, I cursed. But look, that ain't work. But the thing about Jackson State, they got a very good team. I can't take nothing from it. And Shadua looking real good. But man, if you look at it, that's just like Jackson State beat Alabama A&M bad last year. So you saying like if you would have took that Alabama A&M game last year and put it the first game, so they would have been thinking the same thing. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
So you really can't go off of one game, bro. You can't go off of one game. And I say like I say maybe a couple of weeks down, then yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you can't really go off that one game. And me personally, I think, and look, even if they go undefeated, whoever they play again in the SWAC championship, bro, they gonna be up for that game. Because you can go undefeated all you want, but the main thing is win the SWAC championship.
Right. So my thing is, I think we're thinking about this as Jackson State just beat FAMU. They were dominant over this team. They look way above any level of any SWAC team right now. Like this just wasn't just a easy win. This was they can't do anything on the field with that team. Jackson State defense is on another level. Their offensive scheme is on another level. So I don't see the only way Jackson State lose, in my opinion, if they beat themselves. That's the only way.
Man, it's a whole new team though. Like FAMU basically have down there the same team except a few new players. So you can basically go off of FAMU last year's scheme and knowing the content of the players they already have. Jackson State have a whole new team. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically like film on FAMU. So they already knowing what they're doing.
Okay. We'll see.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I say this. You know one thing, like I say, when they played A&M, they blew them out. But they Valley gave them a hard time. Southern, we almost beat their ass. You know what I'm saying? The touchdown.
Oh, so you're a Southern fan. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Jazz fan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the touchdown that we posted got on the yard line before the halftime, they took that back.
Mm-hmm.
That could have changed the game right there.
Oh, okay. You still salty about that loss last year, huh?
Yeah, I was salty about it. It's cool now. It's a whole new season. We coming for their head.
Okay. I want to.
Yeah, we come, man. We ain't no backing down, man. We coming for their head. They talk about the Florida Memorial, bro. We took out Doom. First of all, Doom is hurt. Jason Doom is hurt. You know what I'm saying? We took our starters out late in the first quarter. We playing with third string. We tried to run the ball to run the timeout. We can't do nothing if they garbage like that. Got to talk to the AD number about that. They scared of that game.
All right. Appreciate the call, man. I got to get to the next call. I got a bunch of calls coming in. All right, Mr. Campbell. What's going on, Mr. Campbell?
SWAC dog.
What's going on,
man?
Not much.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sound like you're outside though. You got the window down or something? You in the car?
No, I'm sorry. I wanted to call you while I was driving. I just literally landed from Miami.
Okay.
If I'm not clear, I'll call back.
Yeah, call back. You're not clear right now.
Okay, no problem. I'll call back.
All right. All right. Let me. All right. I think this is Gabriel. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Hey, this is Gabriel again. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing great. Doing great. Yeah, you had a question for Mr. Ford. Go ahead and ask your question. Mr. Ford's on now.
All right. How you doing, Mr. Ford?
Hey, how's it going now?
Oh, going pretty good. Look, so okay, I was watching the OBC, and I noticed that the halftime show, they put it on ESPN3. Remember how we were talking about that? About putting that on the SWAC network. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So once again, Jackson State missed out on all that money because all the content went to ESPN. So what you think about that?
Well, I've said over and over again, we eventually money has got the resources and the money has got to be put into that SWAC network. The SWAC network has to be as good as the ACC network and as good as the SEC network. We can't get around it. Like I keep telling people about FAMU. People were calling me out this week since the game about FAMU. FAMU's biggest problem is not on the field. FAMU's biggest problem is they got to make a move at the top. The president got to go. Same thing with the SWAC. The SWAC cannot get around putting that money behind the SWAC network. I'm looking forward to the day, like when I don't know if I told you this, but when I heard about what Byron Allen was going to do for the SWAC, I asked my wife, I said, why do we need ESPN? She said, we still need ESPN. Like I tell you, I'm the history person, she the business person, so I go along with her on that. But I'm looking forward to the day when we don't have to deal with ESPN no more. I'm going to be honest with you.
Go ahead and finish up, Gabriel. I got other calls. Go ahead and finish up.
Okay. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to get on off. According to that last caller. Now, he said he was Southern. They got to come to us. Now, being at Jackson State is the champ. They the hunter, right? Okay, so I say this right here. Jackson State don't have to beat nobody. They got to beat Jackson State. To be the team, you got to beat the team. There can be only one.
Right.
And Jackson State is it.
All right. Thank you for the call. All right, let me get the next person. What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
All right, it's me?
Yeah, you on. What's going on?
All right, I just want to say, everybody seems like y'all ain't respecting Bethune-Cookman. And, I'm just saying, y'all got to, show some respect. I pull up in my hotel in Miami.
Bethune-Cookman, hold on. You said Bethune-Cookman?
Yeah, bro.
Okay, go ahead. I ain't gonna stop your whole spiel. Go ahead.
All right, yeah. So basically, I drive down to Miami, right, to see the Cookman, support Cookman play in Miami. I get to the hotel that's full of Jackson State alumni. I find out it's the headquarters of the National Alumni. I'm like, cool, no problem. So I start talking to folks. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and support the OBC. I was planning on just staying for one night. I'm going to spend my money and support HBCU, and got a ticket. Sat right there with all the Jackson State alum, and talking trash a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's all about supporting the black colleges, and Jackson State does have a squad, but I got a feeling that somebody is going to, sweep them off of their feet this year, and it's probably going to be Bethune-Cookman. Now, if we don't win, I know we're going to score at least 21 points. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really a bad nerd. I ain't no football guy,
Okay.
So, but I'm just saying that, somebody go do it. and the way that Cookman is squatted up, I believe we got a chance to do it.
Okay. I'd love to see that. I mean, I'd love to see Bethune-Cookman be competitive. You know, they're gonna be playing in the NFL stadium, so I would hope to see that. But as of right now, I just can't see it. Go ahead.
I read in the chat that the boom ain't coming. I'm not sure why. I did mention that to some of the fans today and yesterday in the lobby. And I heard that. They said, "No, man, the boom is coming to Jacksonville." But so I don't know if we're going to get that straight or not. But you know, if the band's scared to come, you know, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I think the boom will be there. Well, appreciate the call. Thank you for the call.
That's what's up.
All right. Let me get the next person. Hold on. What's going on? Call you live. Talk to me.
Hey, how you doing? This is Daryl from Jacksonville, Florida, man.
What's going on out there in Jacksonville?
Hey, man, nothing, man. It's the sad day in the state of Florida for the Rattlers, bro. It's a sad day. Nobody in a million years saw this coming, bro.
Right.
Nobody, man. So, but my thing is, I want to get you guys' thoughts on this. Do Shador got a chance to break Manel records? Because I think he's going for 5,000 this year.
I mean, it's possible, you know, if he keep it up.
I think he's going for with the offer. They gonna run that Mike Leach offense, right? He got the OC from Mike Leach at Mississippi State, and every quarterback that come from that offense put up at least 5 and 40. And I think they're going for something big here with Shador because he's gonna be a first round pick. He's going to be a first round pick, and that's just gonna take it to a whole nother level. Might be top 5. So I just want to get you this. Do you think he got a chance to break Manel record? Manel records, man, they done stood the test of time over 25 years. There ain't nobody, you know, came close to that yet. You know, 14,000 passing yards.
Well, with him, with them running the air raid offense, they have a chance. You know, they get the ball out quickly. You're gonna see a few shots downfield every now and then, but you know they're gonna be trying to move the ball quickly. Like give him easy throws to make, easy completions, and then they have the receivers with the talent to run after the catch. So it's definitely possible. It's possible. I expect him to throw at least 3 touchdowns a game.
And with that offensive line, man, I was watching that offensive line yesterday, and you could tell it's a whole different makeup. He had so much time in the pocket. It was a couple of plays that they got pressure, but man, they were standing tall. Like them boys, they some big boys up there, and they were just FAMU. They ain't had no answer.
Right. It was a couple of times.
I just want to know that.
Go ahead.
And I just want to know last year's game in Miami, FAMU was in that backfield.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? They was in the backfield and they wasn't in as much this year. So what happened? In 1 year, the recruits at Jackson State, he just got better players that quick.
Yeah.
Because if he getting players, it's the key is the O-line. Yeah. If he got a power 5 O-line, ain't nobody touching them.
Right. Yeah, that's what he's been doing. He's been recruiting these big offensive linemen.
That's the key. A power 5 O-line. Ain't nobody touching them.
Right. There were many times during the game where I was sitting next to a crowd and they would Jackson State would snap the ball and the O-line would be holding up so long, everybody be like, man, he got time. Like people exactly. Are talking this while the play is going on, how much time he got to throw the ball. So they played their butts off yesterday.
And that's the key to me, is the offensive line. Nobody gonna touch him. Yep. Nobody gonna the guy from Land, the NFL prospect from FAMU, he got 1 sack. He an NFL dude, and he barely got back there.
Yeah. I'm glad he got that 1 sack though, because he was looking shaky. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead and
end up. That's all I want to say, man. And just much success this year. I know the SWAC is gonna be crazy. Oh yeah, they moved the Bethune game to Jacksonville too. That game gonna be crazy. They playing at the Jaguar Stadium. So, man, if you're an HBCU fan, you just come out to that game because they moved that game too. Because that game gonna be big too.
Right.
Bethune and Jackson State in Jacksonville, Florida.
All right. Well, thank you for the call.
All right.
I was waiting on Mr. Campbell to call back in, but he hadn't called back in yet. Mr. Ford, you got something you want to add? You got something you want to add?
Yeah, now this talk about I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not a fan of Terry Sims. That was a time when Bethune-Cookman did dominate under Brian Jenkins. They did dominate the MEAC. I mean, they had a serious program. They didn't do very well in the playoffs because they were basically a grind type of. They would throw it just a little bit. But this guy Terry Sims, to me, I think he's done all he can do for the program. I think they need to be looking elsewhere. As far as Bethune-Cookman, I'm like somebody said, I want to see them a little bit more. Let me see them against competition, and I'll be able to talk about it. Now, I'm not a person that does that long range thinking. I'm a day-to-day person. I try to make it through this, one day at a time for me. So, hey. I got to see Bethune. Let me see it. The only thing I hate about that Bethune Jackson State game is somebody told me it's a 1 o'clock start or a 12 o'clock start. I don't get that. That should have been a night game. And I think that's going to hamper the attendance. I was really happy that they moved the game because like I had told them this summer, I felt then that Shadua was eventually going to become a Heisman Trophy candidate. Well, according to the USA Today, they've already made him a Heisman Trophy candidate. They featured him this morning on Good Morning America. Okay, so I think it was a good move to have the game at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville. I just don't like the timing of it. I don't like the 1 o'clock start. I think it should have been a night game.
You know what?
But as far as Bethune is concerned, I got to see him.
Mr. Ford, you know what? At the game yesterday, the sun was blazing. So I wonder why they wouldn't have that Miami game at night. They need to have that game in the future. They need to have that game at night because the sun was unbearable. Like, cause
they said several members of the 100 fell out. That's why they had to remove the band.
Yeah, they had to move the band because the sun, the way that stadium is made, it's like the field is the only thing that's uncovered. So it leaves a square on that side of the stadium just beaming on people. So people had to leave.
Let me make this suggestion. Whoever has that FAMU Jackson State game next year, just remember in Atlanta, we got an air-conditioned dome. Come to Atlanta and play in the dome.
Yeah. Or either play the game at night. But I think it's going to be somebody else in the Orange Blossom Classic next year. Jackson State not going to be in it. So,
listen, Avis, he said, ask Mr. Ford if Simmons is a good coach. I love Willie Simmons. I think that he's all them new coaches he got, like somebody said, they got to blend together because, that's one thing. I was a coach, and when new people come in, you got to get to know each other. Like, it's important that you know about his children and, what is he like? What ticks him up? You got to know that kind of stuff about people you're coaching with. Because when I was coaching, I'm going to be honest with you, I spent more time watching film sometimes than I was at home. So you got to get, when you get them new coaches, because FAM has had a number of coaches to leave. I think a lot of people don't forget that. There's a number of people to leave. You got to get to know them people. They got to have a chemistry.
Right.
It's a chemistry involved.
Right. Let me get this call on. Hold on just a second.
Okay.
What's going on, Carly? Live, talk to me.
Hey, yeah, but so I wanted to call back in and respond to what you just stated. So if we're not going to be in the Orange Blossom Classic next year, which I hope we're not.
No, you're not.
Okay. Where would you guys like to see Jackson State play? Because that could potentially be a great money-making weekend.
Atlanta, Georgia. The Mercedes-Benz Dome.
Well, we already opened the season next year with South Carolina State in Atlanta.
That's right. You're absolutely correct. That's right. I forgot it. You're right. That's right.
So
I'm thinking, that's a week before Labor Day. So Labor Day weekend, we got a lot of alumni, DMV area, Midwest, West Coast, Carolinas. Like, what would you like to see Jackson State open up?
You know what I wouldn't mind seeing if they did play at FBS school. I wouldn't mind seeing them play Maryland. Because in the DMV area, a lot of people will come to that game. The DMV area is rich with HBCU alumni. they would definitely come to that game. University of Maryland has a good stadium, and I would like to see them play University of Maryland. University of Maryland is not that good either. Jackson State could hang with them. So
Now,
I think if
I'm
they
gonna tell you, man.
go
Oh
ahead.
yeah. Now I'm gonna tell you one of my mentors, Marlon Cousin, the president of the Morehouse Alumni Association. You know, he was telling me that they were in talks with Jackson State to play in New York this year versus Morehouse.
Oh,
But some
okay.
things fell through. But you know, New York, I don't know. I mean, it may be a bit pricey for fans as far as hotels and accommodations, but I'd love to go back out west. I don't know if you remember when we played UNLV, I think 2015 or 16. It was like the whole visitor side. Yeah, it was like the whole visitor side was packed. And when we got to the parking lot, we saw all these California tags with Jackson State, you know, flags and whatnot. So I think West Coast or maybe the East Coast, even in Charlotte, you know, it'll be a great, you know, opportunity for us to reconnect with fans and alumni, but also kind of, you know, increase the brand. But I just kind of want to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think
But in the game controlled by FAMU next year?
I think so. I think they
yeah, that's FAMU's game. So that game is probably going to be in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
Unless they, like you said, I forgot about FAMU South Carolina State in Jackson, but that game will probably be in Tallahassee.
Yeah, I just wish they would have one in DC. DC is a good place for them to have a game. It's easy. It's a cheap flight for most people. Then you got public transportation around the city. I think it'll be easier for people to navigate around the city. Then you got hotels everywhere. I think in the DC area, it'll just be good for everybody coming from the South or whatever to, you know, have an easy way to commute
if
around.
If they're going to go to DC, isn't it important that they play Howard?
They can do that. I don't mind that either.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't mind.
Better they play
playing
Howard.
Yeah, I don't mind.
That's the local team. And then one thing we learning now, black folks don't like seeing them PWIs and them HBCs. They like to see two HBCUs.
Yeah.
So if Jackson State is going to come to the DMV, they need to play Howard. Not on Howard's campus, but maybe that Audi Field or where the Washington Redskins or one of them play, because that Howard Stadium is just terrible. Don't go on Howard's campus.
I wouldn't want them to play at the Commanders Field because it's out the way. It's kind of like it's not metro accessible.
Audi Field, where that soccer team play. Because last year they took Howard played Hampton at that soccer field. It was a pretty good crowd. It was kind of like a brand new stadium.
Yeah, they played Morehouse there as well a couple of years back. I think it was called the Nations Classic or something like that. And I think it was I want to say it was the Redskins' old stadium, or they converted it to like a soccer stadium or something.
Now the Redskins' old stadium was called RFK.
No, that's the old stadium. That's the old stadium. The RFK is the old stadium. They don't play there anymore. They play in Landover, and that's I forgot the name of the stadium, but it's in Landover.
I could go with that Audi stadium. That Audi is it Audi Field? I know it's a home to a soccer team.
Let me ask y'all this.
Yeah, FedEx Field, FedEx Field in Landover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember about maybe 2007, 2008? There was an event in LA called the Angel City Classic, and I believe the first year it was A&T versus Prairie View, and then the next year it was like Prairie View. It was A&T versus Morehouse, I think. But it was a huge star-studded event, very well, attended, a lot of sponsorship, and then of course 2009 hit, with the recession, so they stopped it. But are you guys privy with that, or do you think it'll be worth, because it seems like folks on the West Coast are really hungry for like a.
Well, see, here's my thing. Why are you gonna take somebody out on the West Coast that you're gonna beat by 60 points? What I'm saying is, if Jackson State's gonna go out to San Diego or go to LA, why are you gonna take Morehouse? You know you're gonna beat them by 80 points. If Jackson State is gonna go out to Los Angeles, call for North Carolina A&T. Call for Florida A&M to go with you. Go take one of our best games out there. Just like I'm still hot about the fact that Howard invited Morehouse That game's going to be nationally televised, I think, on one of them NBC affiliates. When you could have brought Southern, you could have brought Jackson, you could have brought Grambling, you could have brought FAMU. You know you're going to beat Morehouse by 50 points. I don't understand.
Right. Let me get these other comments for. Hold on just a second. I got a bunch of other calls coming in. All right, Mr. Campbell, let's see how your sounds is now. What's going on, Mr. Campbell?
What about now?
Oh yeah, you good to go now. You good to go.
I'm back in my condo, so I'm good. Hey man, first of all, it was
Yeah,
pleasure meeting you in person, young brother.
Go ahead.
I hope we took good care of you in the suite and everything.
Oh yeah,
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you, man. I really appreciate that.
Well, that's perfect. So listen, I know it's late. I want to get into a few things
ahead.
I'm hearing people saying and stuff. Here's the thing. First of all, let me get with FAMU because that's going to be quick and easy. We got our ass whooped, got our behinds whooped, and we're going to be okay. Because the thing about it, Jackson State is just more talented than everybody. And here's the thing that I think people need to understand what Dion has done. When you look at Power 5 programs and stuff like that, and I'm going to go on the defensive side first and then flip offense, you usually have two corners. Most teams don't have a third and fourth corner. When you drop down to the HBCU level, you might only have one good corner. But guess what Jackson State got on the offensive side? They literally have 8 receivers that could start in any SWAC program right now. 8.
Right.
And Dion said he got 12. So if you're lining up and I got 4 starters and I only got one good corner, what you think is going to happen all day? Is what you saw. Mismatches all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on the flip side, JSU defense. JSU has 4 corners that can start for any team in the SWAC. So now guess what they get to do? I go press man, and then I can blitz you all day long. Because I ain't got to worry about it. We did not throw at Travis Hunter as a freshman. And we only threw at him 3 times. He ain't Deion Sanders yet. But that's how much respect that we gave Travis Hunter, that we only threw at him 3 times. So he's already cutting off half the field. And Wiggins, and then Bolden, and then Nugget, and then the other kid are playing. You're not going to score in this team. And then this leads me to my next thing. Shedeur Sanders is going to end up being a top 10 all-time SWAC quarterback. And that's saying something.
I believe
because
that.
This kid in the press conference said he was on the plane with the OC, and you know what he said? I went over every blitz that FAMU had, and I knew every one of them. I knew we were good to go. That's what makes special teams special. When your quarterback has that much command of the offense, nobody else in the SWAC, I'm going to be honest with you, other than Andrew Buck, who is good, but doesn't have any talent, right? Nobody in the SWAC even has a really good quarterback, but Jackson State.
Right.
So they are going to overmatch everybody just from the QB position, which now leads me to my last point. Shedeur Sanders might not lose a conference game. He's going to start, and this is for all my old Jackson State people, he's about to step into Shannon Boyd territory, not losing the game. And that's when Jackson State went on that run and did not lose a conference game for 5 years. Because they are going to have the quarterback battle won no matter who they play going forward. Because he's only a sophomore. What do you think he's going to be when he's a junior? What do you think he's going to be when he's a senior?
He might not even stay for
With
his
those
senior year. You
recruiting
think he's going to stay?
He's not leaving. I mean, and I heard somebody saying Shedeur's a top 5 pick. Shedeur's not a top 5 pick. Shedeur's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
But Shedeur's got a lot of things he's got to do. Because right now, and I think I told you, I have friends that are scout. He's got a 4th round grade on him right now. I'm not saying that can't go up, but that's good for a sophomore. So he has a 4th round grade on him. So he's got to do a lot of things just with arm-wise. He's got to put a little more zip on him. But he's going to get strong and things like that. But I'm just saying, yeah, I don't see Shedeur cutting out his junior. I mean, he would have to have, like I say, and Steve McNair, I think people got to say, Steve McNair was averaging 560 yards a game passing. Shedeur had a great game and only threw for 330. You see what I'm saying? Or 360 or whatever he threw. So to get to that Steve McNair level, he has to do 500 plus every game. Every game. That's hard, bro. That is really hard. So that's when I hear people saying these things. So Southern is not going to touch Jackson. They're not going to touch. And there's nobody else, frankly, that is going to get them a game. I'm gonna be honest. So the game I'm curious about is to see what y'all do against Campbell. That's gonna be the game that Jackson State has to win to make a statement. Because SWAC, they're not gonna lose to anybody in the SWAC because all their hard games are at home. So, that's not going to happen. So for FAMU, I mean, we have got to go back to the drawing board because see what FAMU is doing is just trying to beat people with talent. That ain't enough because we're not the most talented team in the SWAC. Jackson State is. So you've got to come up with schemes and things like that, or we're going to keep coming up short against Jackson State.
Right.
Because we'll be able to out-talent everybody else because we'll have the better quarterback in most of our matchups going forward in the SWAC.
Right.
So that'll be fine, and the defense will take care of itself.
All right.
But that was just ridiculous what Jackson State did, man.
Yeah, but I appreciate the call, Mr. Campbell. I'm gonna get these other calls done so we can be done tonight. I appreciate the call. Thank you for calling.
All right, man. Great
show. Thank you for the hospitality as well. It was nice meeting you. All right. Let me get the next caller. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
What's on, Sway? Well, I just wanted to comment on what you and Mr. Ford about the game that Jackson State can play. Y'all are spot on to a degree, but this is what I think. I was looking at all the HBCUs and where they're located. Not only Jackson State needs to play in these areas, but like you were saying about Maryland and stuff, I think you should do. This is where HBCU is not located and they're a big market. I've seen somebody in the comments take one of my ideas, but Hawaii, Los Angeles, New York, and Chicago. There is no HBCUs out of all the black people that are, in New York and Chicago and LA is no HBCUs over there. So I would have Jackson State play, like Mr. Ford said, let them have a premier top tier team that they can play. If it ain't if it's not a HBCU, but somewhere like in that area, but hopefully it'll be a HBCU that rings a name. If it wants to be Howard, let it be Howard somebody, but let them play in LA, Chicago, New York, or Hawaii. That'll be, that'll bring in that traffic of notoriety and advertising.
Why do you think Hawaii would be a good space to have a game?
Hawaii, because Hawaii gets that California traffic as well as also that revenue is big when it comes to football bowl games. And so I was just thinking with that West Coast fan base, a lot of them, it kind of feels like that Rose Bowl, Pasadena field. And so anywhere in LA, New York, or Chicago, which is crazy that no HBCU is originated from those areas. Like obviously there's a lot of us there. And so I would just put it in that area. And like you said, like Mr. Ford and them saying, bring a big name school there and make sure that they are, hitting on all cylinders as well as you can. So, but then that would definitely bring attention. But thank you.
All right, thank you for the call. Yeah, I don't think people would travel to Hawaii. I don't know. That doesn't sound like a good idea to me. I mean, it would be a good vacation spot, but I don't know if our fans or most HBCU fans would want to pay all that money to travel out to Hawaii, even though it's a good vacation spot now. But I don't know, having a game out there, I don't think that would be a good idea. Let me get the next caller. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm blessed. I'm not sure if you're still talking about the Jackson State game. I just was flipping through and found the channel, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'm an alumni of Jackson State. I just want to let you know we have a history of attendance when it comes to following our team. So we'll follow our team no matter where they play. We're always going to have a good turnout and good attendance. If you look back at last season, the Jackson State Alcorn game, that attendance. And if you look at, history when Mississippi Valley and Jerry Rice was playing, that attendance. So Jackson State always going to have a good turnout when it comes to our team. And before Coach Prime, the gentleman, Mr. Campbell, and the other gentleman was talking about Shador. If you look at his father, look what his father accomplished. And as a parent, we always want our children to do better than us. And so that's just natural for a father and now a coach to want his team to be better than other teams and play at a high level of excellency. So that's what Coach Prime has brought to Jackson State. We've always had a good recruits, and so forth and so on. But some things were missing when it came to those young men. And Coach Prime has brought a lot that other coaches may not have brought to Jackson State, as well as now other teams are recruiting former NFL players because they have insight that maybe other coaches may or may not have. Not that they weren't great coaches, but they brought a different insight to things. And even Coach Prime has said, I played 2 sports at the highest level. So prior to Coach Prime, Jackson State and other teams, the SWAC was known, but it wasn't as known as it is now. And Coach Prime and other NFL players have brought that, coaches have brought that to the SWAC. And hopefully, the recruiting and drafting for HBCU players will increase because of the coaches, the notoriety that they have brought to our HBCUs. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you for the call. All right. I'm going to get this person, and I think we're going to shut it down tonight. What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for the call.
What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, Swag Buzz? Real quick, man. I just wanted to point out a couple of things, pretty much like the other callers have already been talking about. What Deion Sanders is doing is amazing. And what he's doing is, as far as the recruiting goes, once you can go 2 and 3 and 4 deep at every position, now you're putting yourself at a different level than everybody else. I think that's the reason why the JSU and FAMU game was so lopsided. Everybody else has got to catch up. All of the other HBCUs are going to have to figure out a way to step their game up. Because if it continues the way the path is going now, it almost would be safe to say that it's unfair for Jackson State to play other HBCUs that don't play at the level that they play at. So I would just like to see everybody come up to that level. And that's something I think that Deion Sanders is pushing as well. I still think that they do need to go ahead and play North Dakota State at some point. I think, in order to be the man, that you got to beat them. And North Dakota State's been doing that year after year. But that's all I wanted to say, man. I appreciate it, man.
All right. Thank you for the call. All right.
Thank you.
This is going to be the last one. We got Ricky on. Let's see. What's going on, caller? What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
Well, yeah, I just had to call back. I don't know if Mr. Ford was still on, but
yeah,
I just wanted to get go ahead.
Go ahead and say what you got to say.
No, I was just gonna say, as far as what you think, I'll just piggyback off from Mr. Campbell. When it comes down to like the corners, I just want to get your idea of what you feel like with the situation with Nugget. How do you feel like it's going to play out through the rest of the season?
I mean, he got to step up in practice. That's pretty much what all it is. He got to get his spot back. If he got his spot took by someone, he got to show out in practice and earn it back. Nothing's going to be given to them. Everybody's working for their spot. But I appreciate the call. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down tonight. Let me, Mr. Ford, get the last word. All right, Mr. Ford, what you got for the audience? You got the last word.
Okay, listen, for the record, I think Grambling did play in, Coach Robinson took that G-Man out to Hawaii, I think, in the 70s. Now, Grambling has played in the L.A. Coliseum several times. I know one time they took Alcorn out there when Fred McNair was the quarterback, and he went against a guy named Clemente Gordon. That was in the late 80s. So this whole thing of going to play in these different cities, that's nothing new. if you go back and look at the SWAC schedule in the 70s, it was actually they did more traveling than we're doing now. Now you had a lady that talked about the SWAC not being known in the past. I have to disagree with her on that, and let me tell you why. In 1971 or 1972, Grambling had 43 players in the NFL. That was a record. That record would not be broken until the 1990s, when Florida State broke that record with the number of players they had in the league that particular year. So they've always known about the SWAC. If you look at the NFL Hall of Fame, most of the black players in there are from the SWAC. I think Jackson State got 4. Jackson State got 4. I think Grambling has 4. But when you go to their NFL Hall of Fame, the SWAC is all over the place. So they know about the SWAC now, and they've known about the SWAC for years. The first SWAC, where the first black college player that went in was 1949, and that was Tank Younger. He played for Eddie Robinson at Grambling, and after him, he was like the Jackie Robinson. He opened the door for black college players from then on.
Right. Well, yeah, Mr. Ford, I appreciate you calling. You know, you always welcome on the show. So I appreciate you calling, putting your insight, your good knowledge out to the world of HBCUs. So appreciate you for calling.
Oh, let me say this right here.
Go ahead.
This is what I wish we could have. I wish that Dion had a national show every Sunday morning showing the Jackson State game like they used to do Grambling back in the early 70s. I wish they could do that for Jackson State now. Since Jackson State is the premier program in the SWAC, they should have a Deion Sanders show that goes out every Sunday morning after the game.
Right. How we did on likes tonight? I ain't see how we doing on the likes. My phone is dead. I can't even check it. But I hope y'all got the likes up to at least 350 tonight. At least over 350. We ain't getting no super chats tonight. Y'all didn't show no love on the super chat, but it's all good. But yeah, Ms. Ford, thank you for calling. I'll see you on the next one. You know, I'll let you know when
when's the next one?
When the next one is. It's probably gonna be the end of this week. Probably end of this week before the game. We'll do a show before the game.
Okay, we're talking Friday or Saturday?
Probably gonna do Friday evening.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Ms. Ford.
Have a good night.
All right.
Bye-bye.
You need 2 more to get over 400. Oh, okay. Well, we'll get that. All right. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel. We'll be doing shows all through the week, and I'll be doing small videos through the week as well. But yeah, we'll be doing post-game shows and pre-game shows as well. So make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. And that's it for tonight, y'all. I'm going to see y'all on the next one. I'm gone.